You were watching 5 Minutes of Philosophy, and we are here with Dr. Jason Wirth from Seattle University.
One of the reasons I was hired here is because one of my ongoing projects, both here and as a researcher, is the relationship of Western philosophical traditions to the Asian philosophical traditions, and in my case primarily to the Buddhist traditions, most specifically to Zen. Now, one way one could think about Zen is, well, we have Western philosophical assumptions and Western philosophies and Western styles of thinking. Is Zen a particularly East Asian way of doing those sorts of things? Is there such a thing as a Zen philosophy? My answer would be no, if by Zen philosophy do you mean, is Zen as such a philosophy? I think it's not either a philosophy or, in the traditional Western sense, even a religion, but it's a deep practice of the self. And there has been very deep practice of the self also in the West. So it's not wholly foreign. Some of its manners or practices are unfamiliar here, but by and large the idea of working upon yourself to become a wiser and better person, this is not foreign to human beings anywhere on earth. But I think the Zen way of doing it speaks to certain crises in the West. So my way into Zen, as someone deeply educated in the European, what's called the continental philosophical traditions, what really excited me in these traditions was its sense of certain intellectual crises that are true of the Western world. And certain questions emerged in the last 200 years that challenge our own understanding of what it means to do philosophy and to be philosophical. I discovered, however, about 20 years ago, that these things that were exciting me very much, that were kind of on the cutting edge of Western thought, were very ancient problems in other traditions in the world. And so the room for genuine dialogue has never been so good. It's a very exciting time to be doing philosophy because our sense of what it means to do philosophy in the West is actually much more hospitable than it has ever been in its tradition. And our willingness to investigate in deep and admirable ways our own tradition have made us potentially better listeners. I think what Zen as a practice offers philosophy is that, and again I'm very suspicious of large East-West differences, but I think one difference that preponderates more in Asian traditions and is found here but is rare is as follows. When we do philosophy, we think it's sufficient to just start learning big words and reading complicated texts and grappling with complex questions, as if our brain was only missing one thing, the information and skills to do philosophy. I think that's very naive. I think our brain is filled with all kinds of neuroses